Okay, so sorry about the lighting, but I wanted to have the blind up, but then the natural light and my two little lights here like counteract each other and make it look super shit and super bright and saturated, so I can't do that. It's gonna look a little bit dark this video, but that's alright. I used to do when I first started, like I've been doing this for ages, like my first couple videos I was literally like, I had no time, so I literally like filmed them at like 9 o'clock at night and it was like pitch black in my videos. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this background. I know I've kind of changed again. So before I was doing my videos like in front of the window, like I was sat on the edge of my bed here, but I thought that like I've got my like cute little bedspread and my picture and stuff and like my cute little ornaments on my window, so I thought that this would be kind of cool to sit this way. If you guys prefer me in front of the window like fully, then let me know, or if you think that this is better, let me know and I'll probably start doing some videos like this. But yeah, okay, so for today's video, grab a cup of tea or a hot chocolate or whatever, a wine, a beer, whatever you feel like. I'm just gonna do like a little bit of like a chatty video today, just because there's some stuff that I wanted to like let you guys know about, just some stuff going on with work and uni, and some just a couple like choices and stuff that I've had to make, or like hard life choices, you know, hard little choices that I've had to make recently that I thought I'd tell you guys about. Not necessarily give any advice about, because I don't feel like I'm the best person to like give advice, but like if you guys had like similar stuff going on and all that kind of stuff, I thought I would share it. I put too much honey in that, I think. Whatever, I'll still drink it. Okay, so in today's video, I'm just going to be letting you guys know what's been going on this semester. So pretty much what I wanted to let you guys know, or not know, but like, well, obviously you will know because I'm about to tell you. Like pretty much what I wanted to like talk to you guys about. It was just stuff that's like been happening at uni and with work recently. So pretty much, so this semester I decided to only do 3 units because I thought that after doing winter, I could afford, with the amount of units that I would have picked up through doing 4 in the first semester and 2 in the second semester, that I had a little bit of leeway to not be so full on this semester and only do 3 units. So I started off doing criminal law, social psychology and contract law. So pretty much they were literally going so well for like the first 4 weeks. Like I was going to every lecture, I was going to every tutorial, and they were really good, really interesting. But pretty much a little bit later on, so like week 5 or 6, so just after the first round of assignments, I kind of stopped going to contract law. I didn't know anyone in my class. The tutorials, honestly, I'd only been to 1 tutorial in the first week and it was so shit. No one like wanted to talk to you. The tutor just didn't look like she was interested. She was just like, this is what you do, fill out this worksheet, and we were all like, oh, okay, this is a great way to spend my money on education. And so I didn't go back, and then pretty much contract law became no tutorials, became no lectures. Or I'll just watch the lectures on the laptop because they record them, to, or I won't watch lectures but I'll copy and paste all the notes and read through the notes. Turned into not copying pasting anything, turned into not reading the notes. So pretty much, so we have census date, which is like you can unenroll from units before that date without any financial or academic penalty, but after that date you're pretty much stuck with it. And if you withdraw, you still have to pay for it, and you get a fail and you get a withdrawn on your transcript saying that like there was no reason, they just decided to withdraw, and then you get a fail because technically you still did the unit because you didn't withdraw before census date. So I withdrew after census date for contract law because I just wasn't doing anything, and I had a I didn't withdraw just because I had a major assignment coming up, but I had a major assignment coming up and I just was looking at it and I was like, I have absolutely no freaking idea. Like I don't even know the content, I don't even know what any of this means, I don't know what they want me to do with this. So I withdrew. Then pretty much kind of a little bit before that, but like closer to that, I was not really going to like my social psychology lectures because I don't know what it is, but I hate slow people. I hate slow walkers and I hate slow talkers and all that kind of stuff. And she is such a slow talker, and I don't retain information when it's so slow because then I get bored and then I don't listen. It kind of does need to be quite fast and fast beat and a lot at once. I think another thing I'm going to talk about later, but like starting new jobs, I think I'm good at picking up everything quickly because they just kind of, you need to know it, so they like throw it all at you at once. And like, yeah, obviously you forget stuff, but like I feel like I learn better that way when it's just like all at once and I'm like, this is what you do for this is what you do for that. And I'm quite good at like remembering stuff so that when something comes up I can just like, oh, they already told me how to do that, so I'll just remember and I'll know how to do it. Anyway, more on that later. But I was pretty much, yeah, like the same, like not going. I had assignments. I didn't go to any of the tutorials after like week 4. So for our social psychology lecture unit, we only had a tutorial once every 2 weeks. So pretty much I'd only been to 2 tutorials because out of the 4 weeks there was only 2. And then, so in the first semester, this is like gonna be a really jumpy story, but like it all comes back to one story. In the first semester, I got put in 2 first year units and 2 third year units, and it was my first year of law. Even though I was a second year student, it was my first year in law and I should have been in all first year units. I wasn't. I got put in 2 third year units. Granted, one I chose as an elective. And anyone could have chosen it. It just happened to be people that were finishing off their degree that needed another unit to put in to get the amount of credit to finish. I was doing it because I personally really wanted to do that unit, so I was doing negotiation. But I got put in lawyer's professional responsibility, and that's a 30 unit because you're supposed to do that before you go into your workforce, like 3rd or 4th year, before you go into the workforce, so that you know your responsibilities and obligations and all that kind of stuff and how to be in that profession. You learn that in your degree just before you go into the profession, so you know what you're doing. I got put in that for some reason. I got recommended to enroll in that unit from my enrollment sheet that they send you when you start a new degree, and it's on your like uni timetable. Like they plan out your whole 4 years once you start a new degree and they send it to you, and they're like, these are the recommended units and the recommended order that we suggest you do. So for that 30 unit to be on my first year first semester law recommended list, I was super confused and I didn't know why. I didn't find that out until like 3 weeks in, when he was like, I presume no one here is a first year, and everyone was like, no, and I was like, yes. Like I looked around and I was like, am I the only one? Anyway, I was in, the other 2 were first year units, so I was doing dispute management, which I didn't really pay attention to too much, but I like did at the same time. But dispute management, because I was really like, I talked to my negotiation lecturer when we were waiting for the class that uses our room to get out before we all head in and go to that lecture, and she was saying that she was so worried when they introduced this new unit that it was pretty much going to turn into negotiation, and it literally did. I was literally doing 2 of the same unit because the course convener for dispute management pretty much just did all of the same stuff that they'd set for negotiation, which wasn't a first year unit and wasn't a new unit because it was, dispute management was new to that semester. So pretty much they basically copied. So I could pay attention, but my negotiation tutorial, lecture and tutorial were before my dispute management workshop. So pretty much it kind of did run 1 for 1. What I'd learned that previous day or previous 2 days in negotiation was literally what they taught us in dispute management. I still went to like every lecture, or almost every lecture, despite it being completely the same. I just didn't pay too much attention because I had heard it before. It was good to hear it again to like retain the information. She was also really slow speaker and dragged on. It was a 3-hour workshop. It literally could have been an hour and a half. Anyway, because I wasn't going to that one, I was kind of like doing 3 units because that one was the same. But pretty much for some reason, so I'm all over the place, I'm so sorry, but you can't do 2nd and 3rd year units in your first year, but you can do first year units in your 3rd and 2nd years. So because it was a new unit, a lot of people who were doing that degree and it was their 3rd and 4th years, this is dispute management, a lot of people who were doing their degree in their 3rd and 4th years, who it was now a compulsory unit for their course, but it had only just been introduced, all had to go back down to a first year unit to do it so that they could say they'd done it because it was a compulsory unit now. So my workshop, I don't know about anybody else's workshop, there was more than one workshop. My workshop was the workshop which had apparently gotten all of the 2nd and 3rd years in it. A lot of the people in that workshop were the same people that was in my professional responsibilities workshop, and so because I was in so many units that had all of these 3rd and 4th years, they'd already made their groups, and law students can be quite cliquey and they don't like to branch out. So I was in all these units with people who had already made their friend groups and didn't really feel like they wanted to expand their friend group. So then when I went back into this semester, so the 2nd semester, all of the first year law students who were together in the 1st semester got their friend group. And again, cliquey, they'd already got their friend group, so they didn't want to branch out and get any new friends. So it was kind of the same for both semesters, even though I was back in with the first year students. So that was a little bit frustrating. So I didn't really have anybody to sit with in my tutorials and my lectures and stuff. I had one girl who who's also called Ellie. She did politics with me last year, and this year we found out that we both actually changed into law, and she was in my criminal law lecture. She came for like the first 5, but then she got a babysitting job and it was the same time as that like shine. Because they're online, you can just watch them later. So that's what she ended up doing. So I then was sitting with no one. So then I started to stop going. And again, it kind of the same with social psych and criminal law was the same thing as what happened with contract law. It kind of went from going to watching them to just copy and pasting the notes, then to just reading the notes, then to just not doing anything for it. I'd also had an assignment due for criminal law that I worked on with Ellie and one of her friends in like the week 5 or 6 when like a lot of the first round of assignments are due, and I thought I did really well on it, but I actually did not so great on it, and that kind of just pushed me down a little bit further as well. Those units kind of like started to be a little bit like, shit, I didn't want to go, I didn't have anyone to sit with. The assignments started to roll around and I didn't know the content because I hadn't been putting in the effort to go, because I felt like shit every time I went because I had no one to sit with, I had no one to, you know, collaborate with work on and all this kind of stuff. So pretty much I'd unenrolled in contract law, and then I did an assignment for social psych, and then we had another essay due, and I was like, I actually have no idea what the fuck's going on, like absolutely no idea. I went to welfare. So welfare helps you kind of, they give you advice on like your situation and stuff, and they said there's a thing called the enrollment amendment form in which you can give the university evidence to say this stuff has happened this year which is beyond my control, which has impacted my ability to study, and I would like to enroll without financial or academic penalty. So I was able to submit a form for that. So this goes into like what else I wanted to talk about that happened this semester. So my reason to be able to submit that form was because other stuff had been going on in my life, was stresses. So pretty much I can't really like talk about this bit because like I wasn't involved, but just some stuff happened at mum's work and she didn't feel comfortable working there anymore, just like with like, oh, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, there was like all this stuff that happened at her work, and she resigned. She gave her 5 weeks notice, and so my mum's like so kind enough that she at the moment is paying for my rent, which I'm so grateful for. And she's also given me a little bit of pocket money just in case, like, you know, I only have like 1 shift at work or I just can't afford like to live that week. So I get a little bit of money from her, but basically she was living on savings because she hadn't had another job. Darren got a job in Cooma. I don't know if I've talked about it before. I think I have. Darren got a job in Cooma. I think I've been talking a little bit about like this throughout my other videos, but not really the reason like why mum resigned and all that kind of stuff. So they Darren got a job in Cooma, and so has little renting a place up there. So then when Jacob finishes high school, they're going to move to Cooma. But for a while mum hadn't had a job, which meant that it sounds like selfish that like she's still supporting me and like, oh, she didn't have a job, so like I didn't have money. But like, yeah, I had to kind of budget a little bit more, and like, not like, I don't know how supportive she would say that I've been, but I would hope that I think that I've been, be there for her, like, you know, de-stresses and like vents to me about it, or like vents to Nat about it, like we can be supportive and like all that kind of stuff, like more on an emotional side. Unfortunately, because she'd been helping me out and then she couldn't anymore, I've had to kind of live off what I was making at Kidder, which 2 to 3 shifts a week wasn't too much money. So pretty much to combat that, I've been applying for more jobs for a while now, but then I got a job at Vets. So they interviewed me and they said, we'll just need to check with your references, and then basically you've got the job. They checked with my references and I started the next week. 2 days after I had my interview at Vets, Honey Burdette called me, and I don't know if it was in one of my vlogs, but I'd had a trial shift with them ages ago, and then they'd only about a month ago got in touch with me saying, our computer stuffed up, we lost all of our files, we haven't been able to get into contact with anybody, would you still be looking to work here because we really liked you on your trial shift? And I said, yeah, of course. And they were like, could you start tomorrow because we really need like people, we don't have too many people. And I was like, no, I can start tomorrow. So I had my first shift there, and then the next shift they were like, we need you to open tomorrow. And I was like, okay. It was like my second shift and I needed to open the store. So I started working there, and then the next week was my first shift at Vets, and Vets and Honey are going really well. I've had a little bit of issues with Honey just in terms of, because I started kind of technically before I was employed through HR. My pay hasn't come through from the last month yet, and I only got a code last week, so all of my sales were going down to someone else, which is not a bad thing because my name wasn't in the system. So like technically it was just as if they were making the sales, which I didn't care about. It was if my name was in the system and I didn't have a code, then it would look like I was making no sales when I would have been. So that's all fine. Like, I've got a code now and I can, you know, use that now, but I still haven't got paid yet. So I'm pretty sure it's going to go through Thursday, but I'm not sure. Pretty much I had to get 2 extra jobs apart from kidder just to like make sure that I had enough money. And this is all going on while the stress of like no motivation at uni was going on. And then I was having issues at kidder as well, not related to anybody there, but pretty much the hours were like seriously like fucking with me, I think I would say. So about when I messaged mum the first time saying that like I wanted to unenroll and I didn't want to do my units, she was like, okay, go to a counsellor and just talk to them. So I went to like a uni counsellor because you get 6 free sessions. Basically I was talking through like all of the stress and stuff and all of like the uni and the work, and so pretty much if I don't get enough sleep I just am emotionally fucked. So my trigger for not getting enough sleep is I cry. I'll just burst into tears because I'm so tired. There's been a number of times when I've come home to Clancy and just been like, I'm so tired, and I've just like cried in his chest for like 10 minutes and been like, I just need to get some sleep. So pretty much at kidder, I've been working there since April, and it's been 2 to 3, sometimes 4. One week I had to do every shift that they offered because they didn't have anybody. A lot of people were taking that week off, so it's usually 2 to 3 shifts, which like sounds not bad, but like I can't deal with not sleeping. So it's 9 till whenever they need me. So sometimes that's 12, sometimes that's 1:30, sometimes that's 2:30, but like on the nights when it's 2:30 I can't handle it. I get home, I'm exhausted, and then last year I got myself into a really morning person routine. I'd get up at 5:30, I would go to gym class at 6, I would get back at 7, I'd have 7 through till 8:30 to have breakfast, to even till 9 to have breakfast, to watch the news on the TV, and then start my day at 9, like go to uni. And I was really strict with myself, but like occasionally I would be in bed before 10 or like at 10 to make sure that I would be falling asleep around 10:30 so that I would have a full amount of sleep even though I was getting up early. And that worked really well for me. I tended in high school, not like in year like 10, 11, not to be a morning person, and then I started to be a really morning person because I would do that kind of routine in year 12, and then I had my like party semester 1 last year, and then I really got back into my morning person routine kind of in the 2nd semester, and I really want to get that back. Like when I see what in the future what my days look like, that's what they look like, is getting up early. So Clancy works at 7 AM. But he has a half an hour drive to work, and he likes to have at least an hour before he leaves, get up and have breakfast and make sure that he's awake. So for me, I would love to be able to get up at 5:30 when he gets up, and then he would go off to work. He would leave at, you know, 6, and I would leave to go and be at a gym class at 6, and then I would get home like before him, and then he'd get home at like 9. He has breakfast before he leaves, but I'd probably have breakfast like when I get back from the gym and stuff, and then obviously like he would be, next semester he'd be going off to uni and I'd be staying home and like probably doing some more filming, probably working on some projects, and then obviously going to work and stuff. So that's what I see. Like I see myself getting up and I see myself going to sleep late. I mean early. So that just didn't work with the hours that I was working at kidder. And again, my mental health and like being tired has really affected my mental health. I've just been so stressed. Obviously the tiredness and the crying's not a great thing. So a week ago I put in my 2 weeks notice. So this is my last week. Wednesday and Thursday are my last 2 shifts. Then I'm off to Kuna for my nan's birthday for the weekend. So it'd be nice to just get out of Canberra for the weekend. But yeah, I told him that I was leaving. I sat him down and had a whole chat. Like I was pretty open about it because I felt like I didn't want to just be like, I can't work. And I told him all about like the stress at uni and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much just at Bets and Honey, and I'm not doing uni, so I don't have anything to worry about. Even though exam week is over next week and then no one will have uni until next year, I really haven't had to worry about it for the past couple of weeks, and I definitely don't have to worry about it for exam period, which is really great. So another stressor that's kind of been playing on my mind while this has all been going on is whether or not law's for me. So I've wanted to do law for ages now. I kind of wanted to do it in year 10, and then as soon as you could pick it as an elective in year 11 and 12, I picked it and I absolutely loved it. It was my favorite subject. I got first in my year group for law, and I got an award and stuff at the end of the presentation night. Obviously it's just in my school. I used to like work really hard. I used to get like 25s out of 25s and 30s out of 30s and 27s out of 30s and stuff for like anywhere in between those, or assignments and stuff. I did really well of it. I really loved doing the research. Then even though I was so good at that, I did struggle with some of the subjects in my HSC. So maths is not my strong point. So I didn't get a high enough ATAR, I had to go into law. So I did politics, and I was politics and IR and communications and media and public affairs, and I really loved it. And I think I had such a high GPA. I was really proud of myself for my GPA. So I was like at a 5.7 out of like 7. So almost a 6 out of 7. Almost a 6 out of 7. So that was really good. And then this year, I don't know, because I think it was a combination of I've done well enough this year to change into it, and I've wanted to do this for ages, so I'll change into it. And then even though the first semester was a bit difficult with the third year unit, I absolutely smashed negotiation and absolutely smashed foundation. I did okay in dispute management and barely passed legal responsibility. I'm not surprised, to be honest, considering it was a 30 unit. Despite that, I did winter term. Winter term's supposed to be really full on. You do 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week, and I was doing 2 units. So I was doing 4 weeks worth of work in 1 week. I thought winter was amazing. Like, I did social psych, and I'm not social psych, I did psych 101 and psych 102. Again, I think it was probably a little bit easier because they were very similar and there was a lot of overlapping, and it was kind of similar to doing the same subject. But then this semester, yeah, just with the, I don't know if it's burnout from doing winter, this semester is just like was going downhill, and now I'm questioning whether or not I should do law or I want to do law anymore, if I should go back to politics. But I don't want to go back to politics just because I was good at it. I mean, I did really enjoy it, I'm just not sure. But yeah, so like, I know obviously in any degree, you have to do the compulsory units. Once you finish them, you can major in something and go into what you actually want to do. And obviously if you want to do it, you're going to be a little bit more enthusiastic about the units and about going into that profession. And then like, yes, you know, you can have shit days and stuff, but if it's something you love and want to do, so like if I pursued law, I'd probably go into dispute management or more negotiation, more kind of like negotiate, this person wants this and this person wants this. I don't know about negotiation in terms of contracts. Like obviously there's contracts in everything, like marriage is a contract and all that kind of stuff, and if you want to negotiate divorce and who gets what, a contract, but it's more a negotiation, and then all you have to do is just write down what people want. It's not like a contract that's like a shipment contract where this needs to be delivered here and this time, and if this is all broken then this will happen, and this person's liable for this, and you know, force majeure for this and all this kind of stuff. I think, yeah, negotiation probably what I went into. I just have to get through all the units that I don't want to do negotiation, to go into a field in law and negotiation, then practice, which I would probably love. I just have to get through the shit stuff. But like politics, like you have to get through the kind of, not necessarily shit units, but obviously you are more interested in other some units to others. So like I probably wouldn't really go into like terrorism or all that kind of stuff. I would probably more go into a different field of politics, although actually terrorism would be interesting. Some people would rather go into terrorism than like environmental politics, or some people would rather do home affairs or immigration politics, and then rather than like even just local politics, not necessarily going all the way up to Parliament. Anyway, rambling. So yeah, I just have to kind of think about it, or if I want to do something completely different. Into that, next semester I'm not doing uni for a semester. I'm going to just work and take a break and just have no stress. Like I don't find honey or bets stressful whatsoever. I don't find making videos stressful whatsoever, unless I have a shitty laptop software that doesn't edit my videos, but I don't have to worry about that now because I do now have a good one. I don't find stress in this kind of stuff, and I don't think I'm going to find stress in getting into a routine and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. So I'm going to have a break and then reassess whether or not I want to go back into politics, whether or not I want to go back into law, whether or not I want to do something else, whether or not I maybe want to put my psych units that I've done with my communications units that I've done and do something down that road, or if I want to put my psych with my politics, or if I want to put my communications with my law, I'm not sure. Or if I want to do something completely different like journalism or something like that, which I think would be really cool. I could do journalism communications. I'm just also worried about starting another degree when I could be in my 3rd year of something and I'm not going to be. So that's something I'm going to think about. I guess that's kind of what's been going on. I just wanted to make this video in case any of you guys maybe you were struggling with uni or struggling with work, just to share like what's been going on with me, and just say like if something's not making you happy, there's nothing wrong with, honestly there's like nothing wrong with quitting. Like I quit, like I full on pulled out of all of my units. I think if there's good reason behind it, if like it's not making you happy or it's affecting you mentally or physically, that was another thing, because my mental health wasn't great. My CF was getting affected because I haven't been going to the gym, because I've been had no motivation, I've had no money, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if it's like affecting you guys, like don't feel bad about like saying actually I have to stop doing this, or actually I can't work here anymore, or maybe uni's not for me, or maybe I just need to take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's nothing wrong with like like saying no to something or leaving something that's like affecting you. I don't know, sometimes people can feel a little bit pressured. I was really lucky. My mum was like, I don't care if you drop out, and Clancy was like, well, if it's the best thing to do, then do it. Not that she was like, I don't care, but she was like, you know, if it's affecting you and it's like not a great thing for you right now, then don't do it. And Clancy's just like, yeah, he's just worried that I won't go back, but I think I definitely will, because I want a degree. It's like, not saying that, again, like if uni's not 100% for you, then don't do uni. Like get a trade, maybe TAFE. Maybe if you found a great job just out of high school and you want to stick with it, stick with it. One of Clancy's roommates' friends, he started working at Coles when he was like 14, 9 months, like just when you start working, allowed to start working. And he's had no other job. He's doing uni part-time because that's why he's on campus. But you know, he's had no other job, and he's the guy that travels around to make sure that everything's got delivered to the right places and all the stock numbers are right, and he earns a lot of money and he's got an Audi. So like, that's what you guys want to do, then do that. So yeah, I just want to make this video just be like, don't worry about maybe you're in a job that you don't love, or you know, you're doing a degree that you don't love, or you're having really stressful time with your degree or with your job, or even like with friends and you're just like, I need to maybe not see you guys for a little bit, or I need to not work here for a little bit, or I need to find something else. Like, this isn't for me, this isn't my calling, this isn't my degree, I thought this is what I wanted to do but it's not. It's kind of what I'm going through right now. So if you guys are going through something like that, let me know down in the comments and I'll definitely reply to you guys. Hopefully like start a little bit of conversation. I don't even know if I did an intro to this video. I'll do it now. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It was kind of a little bit more of a story time. Like I said at the beginning, it definitely wasn't going to be an advice video. If you would like my advice on like something like this, as someone who's kind of gone through it, or like you're going through it and you want me to like, you know, start a little bit more of a conversation, you can definitely comment down below and I will reply. But yeah, if you like this video, if you thought it was interesting or helpful, or you know, you could connect to it, I guess, give it a like down below because it really helps. Also make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell notification to let you know when I post, because I don't really have a solid posting schedule at the moment. I'm working on it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess that is all from me. Bye guys. Actually, thinking about it now, I think I did do an intro.